people, man, nobody hack my account. I'm not talking to you, I want to talk. Understand? I come in peace.
If you're going to marry a man, you better marry the character of the man. Hello, my people. Good evening, everyone. And Annie, this might be the divorce that you never thought you needed. I know y'all are wondering, what is she saying? You know, sometimes when we need change, we are too lost in our own world or in our own bubble to understand that change that we need, we have to be active participants in enacting that change. And so sometimes what God might do for us is to cause us to be pushed out by someone else. So because we want to be in a certain environment, but because sorry, let me take that again. Because we are so used to that environment, and so we seek the comfort of the unknown rather than the possibilities of the unknown. You see where I'm coming from? So Annie, this might just be an opportunity for you to go out there and begin to rediscover yourself. I have to confess, ever since I heard this news yesterday, naturally as a fellow woman myself, of course, you know, you would knowing Two-Face's history and all of the things that the little that we know that Annie has been through based on what we've seen in social media, because I don't live with them in the same house. The natural tendency is to want to jump in as a woman to say, oh, Two-Face did her bad. How could he do that to her? How, after all of these years, how could, wow, why? The natural tendency is to feel sorry for Annie. But I think I think that us as women, we all have to take a pause and really stop being so emotional and start being rational. I mean, I don't want to come across as being harsh, but I know about love. I know that feeling. But I also know about calling a spade and not calling a spade, a rope. Because if you listen to the men's perspective and you listen to a couple of women's perspective, you can see that we're all falling into our gender lines. But at the end of the day, I think the very first question that we need to ask ourselves is anyone really surprised that this marriage has ended?
Hello. Two-Face has been very constant in this relationship. Before the wedding, he was like that. Had women in his life. During the marriage, he had women in his life. So how do we expect that after the marriage, after he has announced that he's no longer with her, he's now going to become a priest? Maybe we were expecting too much of him. He's never shown us any signs at all that he's not polygamous. He had 5 kids before he got married. Or 3 kids, or how many kids? Many kids. That's his weakness. That's his flaw.
Please, when people show you the kindly
because they don't think a man should come out to say you don't want to do. Mental health is important for both man and both woman. But when the man come out, they don't believe anything he say. But if it's Annie that comes out to say, I think my mental health is very important, or something, I'm not doing it. They say, yes, you should have. Did she not see Two-Face that he was an impure master? We know that. You have made peace with that. I have made peace with that. The world have made peace with that. That Two-Face is a public narcissist.
If you hear people who have had a nasty dating history, they've been, violent towards each other. There's been a lot of cheating, a lot of financial abuse or emotional abuse or any of that stuff, and at the end of the day, after so many years and infidelity and babies outside by other women or whatever it is, and at the end of the day, this man now says, okay, be my wife, and puts that ring on that finger. We have a tendency to, the brain has an amazing thing that it does for us as women, because of that desire to be a missus, to be married. we tend to just push all of that history under the carpet and assume that no matter what has happened in the past, yeah, he has all these baby mamas. Yes, he had all of this history with all of these women and all of these children. But I'm the one who he is marrying, and so therefore I must be the special one. It's a psychological trick. And oftentimes we don't even know that just because you got a man's ring doesn't mean you have the man's heart.
But you see, women, they like this subtle competition. You see, that man that every woman wants is that one want to feel like, na me take up. I'm the one that kept him in my house. Your hand is going to burn. Why do you people like to do this to yourself? Women and victim game 5 and 6. Auntie, you open your eye like Sabinos. You open it like this. You open it wide like Sabinos. You decided to enter because it's what? It's too, Baba. Always for you people, selfish interest and selfish need. Because you want to keep him, you want to prove to Pero and every other woman that do Baba have had something to do with that. I am the one that won. You are the one that won, but you might lose your heart, your head in it.
I'll say that again. Just because you have a man's ring doesn't mean you have the man's heart. This is a big lesson for us as women to understand that just because you are the wife doesn't mean that you won. So there's no need for pepperdem, pictures of your wedding ring and all of that, because you see that man that those women dated and he got them pregnant and he went from one woman to another sleeping around is the same woman, is the same man that you got. The only difference is you put a ring on your finger. And so because of that, there's a certain tendency of behavior, selfism, that is required of you as the missus in the house. Because it makes you feel special. But then you now have to deal with the daily requirements. You see, because we often think that we can tolerate stuff until we'll have to live with it day in and day out. Annie bit more than she could chew in this marriage. She made one of the mistakes, I believe that one of the mistakes a lot of women make when they say, oh, I've put a lot of years into this relationship. I'm not just going to go and lose. So they see it as losing when maybe another woman is the one who finally gets this man. When I say get the man, I mean the ring. So they think they've lost. And so what do? They put in more time, put in more resources. Oh, let's be one big family. All of these baby mamas. Okay, I can live with it. I accept this. We're one big family. Bring the children over. Nani. We'll be one big family. Do you know how much psychological damage the thought of the fact that you as the wife, your child is the 5th child in that marriage? And if it is true that, the twins that they were expecting, unfortunately, did not come to fruition, like she said in this new episode of the series that they have about young and rich or whatever, African. If that is true, imagine the pressure that all of these children that Tuface has, she is a wifey and she has just one. I believe is one. Do you know what that does to a woman? And so this back and forth, screaming on the phone.
Scatter everything. Nobody knows the wrongs of an angry woman. I will ruin everything. Hello, nobody knows of an angry woman. I will ruin everything. Hello, Inobia family. This is Annie. Said that I was with my husband today. Peaceful, nothing happened. My husband told me he had a shoot today. Only for him to pack his things and he stupid cousin Frankie helped him plan it. His family does not love me. They hate me. They've been giving me hell for 10 years.
Sometimes, let me tell you something. Oftentimes when men come out to say, okay, I'm done, some men are very cheeky. They're not going to tell you, leave, I'm tired, I don't want this anymore. But they're going to give you reasons to leave. And they're not succeeding, and they figure that, okay, this woman is not getting the message. Man, I have to say it in black and white.
Macaulay. Who is Annie Macaulay? Hello, do anybody know who is named Annie Macaulay? Because the only Annie that I know around Tuface is called Annie Idibia. But we're gonna get there. He said, I and Annie Macaulay have been separated for a while now and currently filed divorce. I would grant a press release soon to say my story. Not because it is anyone's right to know about my personal life, but because I love my people and I need them to know my innocence or offense. Stay blessed, my people. I love you all.
The voice note that we heard, which was say she was going to bring everything down, that is a woman who has been desirous for some intervention. Right before our very eyes, this woman has been asking for intervention. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, she chose this path. That is where the rubber meets the road. That is where the hard truth needs to be told. She chose this path because of one or all of these reasons. She didn't want to lose. She thought she was going to win. After she figured, look, I am the ride or die chick. I have been in this thing for a long time. I am not going to give in or give up on this man. I'm going to be right here. And she thought that she could tolerate and swallow anything that came her way, and she would be right there standing. And at the end of the day, the thing that she did not have the balls to do, Tuface had to do it, and do it publicly. Maybe because he's been trying really hard to try to get her to leave. Because sometimes, let me tell you something, oftentimes when men come out to say, okay, I'm done, some men are very cheeky. They're not going to tell you, leave, I'm tired, I don't want this anymore. But they're going to give you reasons to leave. And so when they have tried and they have tried and they have tried and they have tried to give you the reason to be the one to walk away, and they are not succeeding, and they figure that, okay, this woman is not getting the message. Man, I have to say it in black and white, in simple English. Yeah, I know Annie was 15 and Tuface was 24. But she should have grown up, because I believe that when you were with this person for this long and taking for you to be able to take all of the things that she probably took from Tuface, she's lost herself. That is, if she ever had come to her own self, because sometimes people have not even come to their selves before they entangle themselves in other people's lives. And so I don't know if I'm correct to say she lost herself. But if she did know herself, then she did lose herself. Or she never had the opportunity to really discover herself. Which is why I come back again to my intro, which I said, this might be the divorce that Annie never thought that she needed. An opportunity to grow up, to find herself, to discover who she is. She'll be fine. Oh, she'll be fine. She will be fine. I remember the wife of a former governor who he had an affair with his own wife's sister. Yeah. And she was so mentally set back that she started to put on a lot of weight because of the medications that she was taking. That lady, I think a couple of years back, 2 years or so ago, had just remarried, and she remarried. If you see her, she looks even more beautiful now than what she was before, because there's nothing that peace cannot get you. Because Bible says that hell hath no fury than a woman scorned. But she went into it open-eyed. Or maybe she lied to herself that she could, with her, he would change. Or because he was a married man now, he would change. Ladies, marriage doesn't change a man. And a lot of us that also think that our Victoria Garden is so special and so tasty. The best Victoria Garden. And if you don't know what Victoria Garden is, I can help you. Those of us who think that our Victoria Gardens are so special, your Victoria Garden is not what will make you keep a man faithful or respects your union. It's the character of the man. So those of you who marry for the purse, okay. Those of you who marry for the looks, okay. If you're going to marry a man, you better marry the character of the man. Because rather than that, but before that man would allow anything that would hurt you, he would think about how that will make you feel. The character. The person who puts another person's feelings above theirs and thinks twice before they do what they do. Not a man who thinks with his cucumber. Because from all of what we've seen, and we know, it's not even secret, we know. Tuface is led by his cucumber. And Annie always knew that. But she thought that she could either change him or she thought that she could cope. And the foundation of whatever she was trying to build just capitulated right under her feet. And so she's probably thinking of the public embarrassment. She's probably looking back at the youth that she never had because she was maybe just with this one man. The life that she has never fully come to live because she's just been attached to this one man. And all of the things that she probably told herself that have now proven to be lies. This one will hurt. Yeah, it will. But it was coming. It was a fast moving train that, I mean, anyone could have heard coming. He was screaming out loud, poo poo. But there's another social media person too that I am watching keenly with my eyes, because a lot of us don't tell ourselves the truth. At the end of the day, we always say, oh, that she's now been she has consolidated, or she has been consoled, or she laughed last, because what we always feel like the person won because they got the ring. I'm also looking at them. I'm not wishing that this particular, they just got married, I think last year, and all over hashtag, because we at the back of our heads we still feel like there's something Romeo and Juliet-ish about toxic relationships that end up in marriage. You feel, she's won. She laughed last. She did this. Okay. We are here. We are listening. We are watching. We will see. I pray for her. I pray for her to find herself, to heal and recover. I pray she has good friends around her at this time of need. I pray that, Tuface also, whatever happens, that he is who he is. He has never lied about who he is. He's a Bola man. He's a man led by his cucumber. And so it is what it is. If people show you who they are, Maya Angelou, believe them. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? It helps my contents to get much more distributed. And it's free of charge. Thank you.